just came down to check on the horses, and I found the Red Mare in her own place of peace. I very consciously put her into the place of peace. It's something we do. So I stand and I breathe, and I let all my jangles go. And I do a body audit to check for any places of stuckness or tightness or tension. Which I could feel some there in my shoulders, so I just let that go. And I breathe and I breathe. And she will go into her deep peace. But she's so practiced at it now that she can do it for herself. And when I find her like this, it's one of my greatest joys and greatest gifts. There's a little bit of wind there, so she's woken up. What's particularly remarkable about this is that last night we had massive fireworks in the village. Our village fireworks were a week after bonfire night for some reason. And because we've got hills here, there's a hill behind the field, the noise ricochets in from the village down there and echoes off that hill. So it's very alarming, it's amplified, and it means the sound is muddled. There's no clear place that the danger is coming from. And in the past, that's really frightened her, particularly because she has to look after her herd. She's the lead mare. And so she doesn't know what to protect them from, because the noise is coming from there and then the noise is coming from there. Anyway, this year, we were particularly conscious that we hadn't had fireworks for a while because there weren't any last year because of COVID. So I decided to do some proper firework training. And in the old days, I'd have based that around loud noises. I'd have driven the car down to the field and hooted the horn and put the music on and got the posse to bring YouTube videos of fireworks and done all that, which is a sort of basic form of desensitizing and getting them used to stuff. And it's not entirely without its uses, that approach. But I thought, actually, let's do something more profound. Let's work on really serious connection work so that we're digging the foundations of their sense of ease, their sense of safety, their sense of comfort, and their sense of connection with their humans. We're digging that as deep as it'll go. And I genuinely didn't know if that would work. But that was the way I decided to go. So that was what the posse and I did. And because we had an extra week, we had longer to do it. So down I came last night with my young Kaylee, who's 16 now and who's been with me since she was 12. And we stood and we got the horses ready and we breathed. And I put some music on and sang songs, which is tradition. That's what I always do on the firework nights. And I was perfectly ready for them to have a bit of a gallop about in the open spaces. And then I hoped they would come back to us and connect. And what happened instead was that they didn't move. And the noises went on, this crashing and banging and echoing and ricocheting. Went on for half an hour. So it's a long time. You know, it's the kind of thing where they might be able to deal with it for 5 minutes, but then they go over their threshold. And they didn't. They just stirred and stirred. Red Mare was like this. She even cocked her back leg. And Kaylee and I breathed and sang. And they stirred and stirred. And look, today, after all that, no after effects. Wasn't like she was suppressing something and now it's all coming out. She's in her place of peace. And I have to say, I'm more happy about that and more proud than almost anything I've ever done with her. And I just wanted to give you that thought. And also this beauty. For a lovely, quiet, calming end of Remembrance Sunday. feeling.